Welcome back to CyberTapTV. If you're new here, this is where we turn complex cybersecurity concepts into clear and practical lessons for anyone looking to understand how real cyber defenses work. In our last episode, we went inside the SOC to explore how security operations centers function and what analysts actually do on the front lines. Today, we're taking that foundation and going deeper. We're breaking down one of the most important models in cybersecurity, the cyber kill chain. By the end of this video, you'll understand how attackers plan, move, and execute their operations, and more importantly, how defenders like us can stop them before any damage is done. The cyber kill chain was developed by Lockheed Martin to help security professionals visualize the entire life cycle of a cyber attack. It's a structured way to think about how an attack starts, how it moves, and how it can be stopped. Imagine it like a mission timeline for an attacker. By understanding each stage of that mission, we as defenders can predict, detect, and interrupt their progress before they achieve their goal. The cyber kill chain is built on one core principle. If you can break even one link in that chain, the entire attack fails. Every attack begins with reconnaissance. This is where the attacker starts gathering intelligence about their target. They might look up an employee's profile, analyze the company's website, scan for open ports, or even scrape social media for clues. Tools like Shodan, Maltego, or Nmap make this process easy. The attacker's goal here is simple: understand the environment, find weaknesses, and prepare the next step. For defenders, catching unusual scanning activity early can sometimes stop an attack before it even starts. Once the attacker knows their target, they move into weaponization. This is a stage where they create the actual tool or payload they'll use to exploit a vulnerability. It could be a malicious PDF, a Word document with hidden macros, or a Trojanized software installer. They take the information they found during recon and build something that looks harmless but is designed to bypass defenses. This is where an attacker's creativity really comes into play, and where defenders rely on strong endpoint protection and attachment scanning to catch these weapons before they reach users. Next comes delivery, and this is often where the SOC gets its first chance to intervene. The attacker now sends the payload to the victim. It could arrive through a phishing email, a drive-by website, or even a USB dropped in a parking lot. This stage is all about getting the weapon into the environment. Phishing remains the most common method because it targets the weakest link: people. If you can detect and block that malicious attachment, that suspicious domain, or that fake log page here, you've already broken the chain before the attack gets serious. Now let's look at the middle stages where the attack becomes active. Once the victim interacts with the payload, exploitation happens. The attacker's code runs and begins to take control. Next comes installation, where the malware establishes persistence so it can survive a reboot or a system cleanup. Finally, we have command and control, often called C2, where the compromised system begins communicating back to the attacker's server. This is where defenders have critical opportunity to detect unusual outbound traffic, suspicious processes, or unknown domains. EDR tools like SentinelOne or network monitoring platforms like Elastic can pick up on these behaviors and stop the attack from progressing any further. Now we reach the final stage, actions on objectives. At this point, the attacker has achieved their goal. That goal might be stealing data, deploying ransomware, hijacking accounts, or disrupting operations. If the attack makes it to this stage, containment and responses are the top priority. SOC analysts move quickly to isolate the compromised system, remove the threat, and begin recovery. The key takeaway here is that every earlier stage gives us a chance to stop the attack before it ever reaches this point. So let's tie this together with a real example. Imagine an attacker researching a company's finance department on LinkedIn. That's reconnaissance. They build a fake invoice with a malicious macro. That's weaponization. They send that email to an employee. That's delivery. When the victim opens the document, the macro runs and installs malware. That's exploitation and installation. The infected machine connects back to the attacker's command and control server. Finally, the attacker encrypts the company's files and demands payment. That's the final stage, actions on objectives. But in this case, the SOC detected abnormal outbound traffic during the C2 stage. They blocked the domain, isolated the host, and prevented the ransomware from spreading. That's how defenders break the kill chain in action. If this breakdown helped you understand how attacks really unfold, hit the subscribe button and join the CyberTapTV community. We post new videos every Monday and Wednesday covering real-world SOC operations, incident response strategies, and cybersecurity fundamentals that can help you grow as a defender. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. In the next video, we'll take everything you've learned here and apply it to a live scenario. We'll walk through a real incident response case step by step and show exactly how SOC teams contain and eradicate threats in real time. That episode is called Incident Response in Action and is coming soon right here on CyberTapTV. See you then.